Every now and then in wrestling, there are moments where the stars just align. It happened in New York, it happened in Chicago, and it happened once again last night in Montreal. In what was honestly the most basic main event wrestling match of all time, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns was truly magic. Even though deep down we knew that Sami wasn't gonna win. We knew it was too good to be true, and we knew that it seemed like a fantasy, but yo, for those 20 or so minutes, our hearts wanted it so bad. It was a match that was so simple, a match that for the first 10 minutes was just taunts and headlocks, but it was just one of those nights. It was one of those nights where they could have just done headlocks for an hour and the crowd would have been going crazy for the whole time. But no matter what, no matter how basic it was, no matter how predictable it was, it still had 99% of us hanging by a thread, praying and hoping that somehow, someway the unbelievable happens and Sami Zayn walks out champion. It was such a special experience that got better every single minute, and by the end, the shit that Sami Zayn was kicking out of didn't make any sense. The homeless man that desperately needs a haircut was kicking out of the wildest shit. When Jimmy Uso came in and tweaked and hit him with like 3 super kicks on the frog splash, I thought it was over. But nah, then Roman clapped him and then he still kicked out. Like at that point I was like, yo, they probably injected the same shit they put into Patrick Mahomes at halftime into Sami Zayn before this match. Sami Zayn on this night went out like Tony Montana at the end of Scarface. Minus the cocaine, obviously. Sami just looked like the man tonight with his family in the crowd, his wife watching, and 17,000 fans screaming. It was just special. And of course we got treated to a pretty wild plot twist that changes a lot of things going into the future. Coming in, we thought that when Sami loses, it's gonna be Jay that causes it. It's gonna be Jay who turns on him, and turns out he was a part of the bloodline the whole time and it was all a part of the plan. But nah. In a wild plot twist, Jay does show up and he does get the chair for Roman Reigns and he does have the opportunity to make it right, but he doesn't pull the trigger and doesn't turn on Sami Zayn. And the underlying storyline of Jey Uso, shout out to Superkick Studios, does continue. The main event was such an experience. I have never seen a crowd die like how it did tonight. A crowd so passionate, so obsessed with Sami winning, that cared so much and I was so invested. Once Roman won and that 1, 2, 3 hit, they literally went mute. See yo, usually we're used to these matches with RVD winning or CM Punk winning, but nah, not tonight. They honestly didn't know how to react and there was no raining down of boos or anything. There was no riot. Nah, the only thing they got was heartbreak. But okay, let's get serious for a second. When I think of this match, it's matches like this and moments like this that truly separates wrestling from any other form of entertainment. The fans that are watching this in the building, the fans that are watching at home, they're going insane, screaming at their TV and we're totally invested. They were 100% behind Sami Zayn, but not just the character, but the man as well, because we wanted to see the boyhood dream come true for a kid who probably himself never thought he would make it this far. Wrestling is special because we as fans form special bonds with not just the character, but the person. See, the best way I can describe it is when you watch Top Gun and you see Maverick, you might care about Maverick and you want him to succeed in the movie, right? But you don't realistically give a fuck about Tom Cruise. But every now and then in wrestling, because wrestling is such a different form of entertainment, it's such a personal form of entertainment, comes along someone where it's bigger than the character. Here, the fans weren't screaming and going insane just for Sami Zayn the character, but nah, it was because it was Sami Zayn. The hometown kid who started wrestling in bingo halls just down the road, the man who's been grinding it out for almost 20 years now. The man who was known as El Generico, and they never thought they would see him in this position. The man who was one of the most beloved guys in wrestling, one of the nicest, most selfless, one of the most universally loved guys in the business. That's who they were screaming for on this night. It was just like Kofi Kingston. It was just like Daniel Bryan. It was more than just for the character. It's also the fact that wrestling isn't a sport. It's not a thing that if you're the best, you'll win the MVP. It's not where if you're truly the best, you'll win the championship. This is wrestling where sometimes the best don't even make it to the main event. But Sami did, and not just the character, but the person. And that's why the fans cared, because Sami came back home and he sold out the arena. The kid that nobody ever thought would make it this far came back home and sold out the Bell Center. It's something that you can only get in wrestling. And I just wish that somehow, some way there was a way he could have walked out champion. I am truly bummed that Sami didn't win the championship, but I don't think that changes how magical this truly was. Sami Zayn, regardless of everything, with his wife in the front row, his family watching, everyone going crazy, he still walked out a winner on this night. I've said this before, but it's like moments like this where you truly realize why you love wrestling, because where else would we ever get anything like this? The drama, the passion, the storytelling, when done right, there is nothing better than wrestling. Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, even though it was predictable, even though they spent 10 minutes doing nothing, even though it was the most basic main event match ever, it was still magic. What a night this was. I can't wait to see where we go with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I do love the touch where Kevin Owens didn't help him win the title because he still has a little beef with Sami. He's not going to forget everything Sami did, but he did just enough to save him from the bloodline. I continue to be invested. What can I say? They got me. But what a night. Montez Ford has officially arrived. That men's Elimination Chamber was something really fun to watch. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins is set in stone and honestly might end up being a WrestleMania classic. The simulation is glitched. Edge and Theory about to begin a feud for the US title, and because of that, Triple H, I'm expecting my job offer to be in the mail tomorrow. Like, come on, what are we doing here? And also, I may have been a hater in the past, but guys, I've officially seen the light. Theory is definitely that guy. Turns out, all he needed was a beard. And most importantly now, it's all eyes on Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I cannot wait to see these promos, and I cannot wait to see Cody Rhodes bleed all over Los Angeles and win those titles. The WWE is so hot right now. It feels like Kane, like that one time he got burned alive in that Inferno match back in 1998. When wrestling is good, there is honestly nothing better. So let's enjoy it while we can. It's your boy Pav, aka Wrestling Gifts. I'm out of here. Leave your comments down below on your thoughts on the show and the main event. Hope you guys enjoyed this short, quick little reaction video. I'll see you guys soon for the next one. Later, guys.